Hi, I'm Michael.
I'm Whitney.
And I'm Fred.
And you're watching Word of Mouth.
Real talent? I have more talent than the rest of you put together, if you want to know the truth. You're in a rut, all of you. You've snatched top spot in the art world, and you think only the kind of stuff that you do is bona fide and legitimate, and you suppress and silence everybody else.
The Seagull is about a young struggling writer named Constantine and a young deciding if she wants to be a struggling actress named Nina, and their pursuits. Meanwhile, Constantine's mother, played by Kristen Scott Thomas, is an established famous actress, and her paramour is an established famous writer.
Arkadina is this woman in the play. She's a mother, and she's an actress. She's either an incredibly famous actress or an incredibly famous actress in her head.
She seems like a person who's very, and her son Constantine says this in the play, very bored with her life. And so she creates sort of a theatrical experience from day to day to sort of get through her days and get through the experience of being away from the acting scene.
Most of the characters in The Seagull, I would say, are incredibly unhappy in one way or another. And so a lot of them are very vocal, some of them in very funny ways, actually, about how unhappy they are with their lives.
Everyone from Arkadina's son, who was an up-and-coming playwright, and he didn't have much fame, to Arkadina, who is, you know, this huge actress. And you see that on both sides, they both, you know, feel unhappy with their situation, even though they're so on opposite polar ends.
It's really about, you know, family and art and the sort of creative elite, and I mean, there's a lot of themes going on. It's very Russian and very dark, but funny. But it's there's a lot of layers to it.
I thought the acting was incredible from all of the actors, and Kristen Scott Thomas was amazing.
She's luminous. I mean, she plays this sort of over-the-top actress. I mean, she really owned that stage, and she was really spectacular. Really, really well done.
She did a good job in this one, and she definitely made a character who could very easily be unlikable. She made that character very likable.
When I saw her up there, you forget that she is an actress. You think that this is who she is. She's Arkadina.
Peter Sarsgaard plays Trigorin, who's Kristen Scott Thomas's lover, although he's got a thing for Nina, the young, struggling actress.
I don't think that his performance was any better or worse than anyone else's. I think he blended in well as a theatrical actor, and it didn't seem like this was, not his forte.
I think he did fine. I'd say maybe the jury's still out. I would need to see him in something else. I think he was fine.
Zoe Kazan as Masha is hilarious. She plays it not just for comic relief, but again, kind of with different layers, but she always sort of steals the show whenever she's on stage. She was great.
You need to really, bring a lot of drama and theatrics to your character, and she did a good job with that.
The production of The Seagull, I would say, is fairly bare. There isn't a ton of costuming or scenery or design, and a lot of it is just focused on the actors and what they're saying and the conversations that they're having.
It's very minimalist, how they sort of stage that. And then the second act, when you're inside, it's a little more ornate, a little more staged. So you kind of get these two different feelings from Act 1 to Act 2.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that Chekhov is necessarily my thing. And so I myself didn't get a ton of I felt like I needed to read a lot more books before I could see this play again. And so I think there are a lot of folks around me who really got into it and seem to really understand it. I'm sure they've also seen it many times before.
I mean, the thing about Chekhov or these kinds of plays in general is that they're, it's tough. It's like, I was thinking about it, it's like broccoli, you know what I mean? If Legally Blonde the musical is a cupcake, this is broccoli. But you know what? The older you get, you kind of like broccoli. And this was sort of broccoli with cheese sauce. Like, it was a really well done production, and it made you really appreciate a Russian playwright and it's kind of timeless story.
This is the kind of play that will be best left as a book. And I don't know that if it was adapted from a book, but this seems like something that I would read, and then I'd write notes in the margin, and then I'd think about it later. Not something that I would see in a play when I kind of want some instant gratification. Just tell me what it's about. Even though thought-provoking is great, I don't think that I want to think this much when I'm going to see a play. So
I think it's a very specific kind of humor. And so I think if you don't really get into the dry humor or get a lot of the literary references that they make, someone might find it boring.
If my friends asked me about this play, I would definitely say, save your money. It's not worth it.
It's wonderfully comical at times, and it's absolutely worth it. But it isn't easy. It's you definitely have to be in the mood for a 3-hour Russian ordeal. But it's quite well done.
You talk of fame and luck, about some glittering and fascinating life. But all of these fine words, forgive me, they're like so many sugar plums, which I never eat. You're very young and you're very sweet.
But your life is wonderful.
I don't see what's so special about it. It's time for me to go and write. I'm sorry I can't stay.